So, all right. So welcome everyone to this is Shenyuan Hu, the founder of Ascender Impact Accelerator. Okay, and actually also operating as a founder of Ascender Foundation. And today I'm very glad that we are going to have our fifth demo day for the Ascender and / Create Unicorn coaching course. And so this is actually a quarterly cohorts, which we've run since this is the fifth one. So that means almost over a year ago we started. And originally it was just on a small scale, but now, it's grown bigger and bigger. Our quarter one cohort actually were joined by 250 people from different places, mostly India. And our last cohort, current cohort, quarter two, actually 300. Okay. And we're aiming for over 1,000 this coming quarter. So if you have any friends, okay, that are interested to build impact startups, feel free to refer them to us. Now, I guess let me first off share about what Ascender is. Okay, so can you guys all see my screen? I'm just going to do a quick intro for those that may be learning this for the first time.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. So basically, Ascender, if we are a remote coach and in the future, near future, funded impact accelerator. And the goal is to incubate over 1,000 impact unicorns in the next 20 years. Okay. And basically, the goal is over the next 20 years, we want to build up 1,000 social enterprises that are unicorns scale. And to do that, what we're currently doing is running a 3-month coaching course called Create Unicorn. This is actually combining the best entrepreneur knowledge that's out there, which is Y Combinator, YCs. YCs, they have a free startup school program, but it may not be easy to get through. So we kind of condense, get the, some of the highlights, plus 10x mindset. And we are focusing on 3 core areas. It's global teamwork, which is you can understand as remote work by going to the next level, right? Because this is post-COVID, right? So that, oh, okay. If you just joined, please do mute yourself. Okay. Now, basically, sorry, I skipped one slide. So okay, so there are 3 areas that we want to focus on. We know that this is after the COVID pandemic, we are entering a new age, right? Where people are actually getting more and more used to remote work. And we believe that with the metaverse coming, we know there are some huge mega trends, blockchain, AI, and metaverse, that the world is becoming small. Okay, so the first one we want to facilitate is global teamwork. The second is actually what's called sustainable wealth, because you probably have noticed the gap between the have and have-nots, the rich and the poor, actually are getting wider. Okay, and wealth, power, they are more and more concentrated. This is not something we like to see, because we know, in history, whenever something like that happens, at the end, it's conflict, even wars. So we want to, we like to see the wealth become more sustainable. And for that, for example, universal basic income is something we like to leverage technology and startups to enable. And the third area is what's called peaceful diet. Again, this is both from a environmental reason. Okay, if you have watched Al Gore's film, right? He did a documentary, The Inconvenient Truth, right? That a few years ago, and also from a more humanitarian reason. So we would like to see our and also health. Okay, if you have seen the works by Dr. Campbell of he wrote the book The China Study. Okay, also recently passed away, John Robbins. He had a book, Diet for a New America. If you are, following closely with the health trends and some of the scientifically backed evidence, you will know that a plant-based kind of diet is actually better for our health and also for the planet. And that's something through, for example, organic farming and other things we like to enable. All right. So there are main three entrepreneur obstacles. For example, entrepreneurs oftentimes they feel that they may not have the money to start the business of their, of their ideal dream business or enterprise. You may not know how to do certain things. You may be stuck, right? Lack of mentorship. And also, even if you do created something valuable, let's say you have created some small business that are self-sustaining, that you are making some profit, right, or some revenue. Oftentimes, it's not easy to actually scale up to, let's say, global scale and to have really massive impact. So because of these, we like to, the best enterprise in the world today are the unicorn companies. Okay, this is just a short list. ByteDance, the company behind TikTok, that was valued, this is actually a year ago, $220 billion. So this is essentially what we're trying to do. Unicorn companies are the most valuable companies in the world. However, they are also very mysterious and kind of hard to approach. But we figure, with AI coming, with exponential technology, it might just be possible that even for a 3-person team to create a unicorn company of impact. And that's exactly what we're aiming at. Okay, so although we're still very small, okay, you can judge this by how many people are here, right? It's not really like attended by hundreds or thousands of people, but we know this is the right path and the right trend. And in my mind, there's no doubt at some point we will grow to that scale. But everything has to start somewhere, right? So I guess that's another entrepreneur message to take, is that start today. Okay, if you have anything you want to do, any impact you want to see change in the world, don't wait. You want to do it something today. Okay, starting from yourself and right now. All right, and I think every one of you here is here for that purpose, and for that I'm very grateful. Now, I'm going to explain a bit about the format of today's demo day. So this is going to be a presentation by our Q2 2025 cohorts. I believe there are 2 teams that are going to be presenting today, okay? And the format is basically each will have 20 minutes, 5 minutes in terms of the presentation, which I will time. And also we will be notifying, when there's like 2 minutes left, 1 minute left in the chat room. Okay, so please pay attention. And then it's 15 minutes of Q&A. All right, so it's just short and sweet. And basically, yeah, all right, I guess that's it. So for our first team, so these are all people from our cohorts. The first is actually Mohammed, right? Can you hear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So I believe your project is a sport tech platform, TeamUp, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I'll let you start in for a 5-minute presentation. I will let you know. You can start to share your screen, okay? And I'll let you start once you're ready. Okay, just let me know. And
Sure.
after the 5 minutes, going to be feedback and questions from the audience. And remember that if you already attend our weekly mastermind, we like this to be kind of a productive, session where people can raise questions. You can also maybe provide useful feedback, right, to the presenter. All right. So Mohammed, would you like to share your screen first?
Yes.
And all right, okay, and let us know when you're ready. And okay.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible. Okay. All right. So if you are ready to start, then let me know.
Yes, we are ready.
Okay. All right. Okay. So go. Yeah. Please go ahead. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. Myself, Mohammad Saad Khan, and I am here with my teammate.
Hello everyone, I'm Izhan Ahmed Khan, and together
We are building TeamUp.
So the problem is, when we were kids, we used to play so many sports and games together with your friends, and that was so much fun. and everyone was so much free on that time. But today, everyone is so much busy in building their career. Everyone is so much grown up today. So if you're even thinking to play sports, then not everyone is having same free time to play. So if you're even thinking to play with someone else, then not everyone is available with us. So we find a solution for that. So the solution is to connect teams and individuals looking for matches. So basically, we are building an app where we can connect teams and individuals who are looking for matches. So, for example, if I want to play football and I call my friends that let's play football, then not everyone will be available on the same time. So if I then simply I'll just go to this app and I'll just connect with some of the team members who are available on that same time, and I'll just have fun with them and play with them.
So let's talk about the market opportunity. If we see Indian sports market, it is projected to grow to $130 billion by 2030 from a current market size of $52 billion. And if we see turf sports market, it is continuously growing and is expected to grow more than 9.5% from 2023 to 2028. And the main reason is in major cities, there is an increasing demand for turf booking platform. And the main reason is limited open spaces and the rise of sports participation. Well, if we see our competitor, we have three major competitor. First is Playo, second Groundwala, and third Heja. Well, Groundwala and Heja are more focused only towards booking a turf. Well, Playo has the same vision that we have, that is to connect players. So our main differentiator with Playo is automated matchmaking. So with the help of AI, we will be leveraging our app to connect players based on their skill, location, age, and the number of games they have played. And some other features are integrated turf booking. After connecting with players or opponents, you can easily book your turf with our app. And then we will be giving the player stats, game history after the game. And our main major focus is on tier 2 cities.
Now let's discuss about revenue model, how our unicorn company will earn money. So first is turf commission. So if someone is booking a turf through our app, then we'll be getting 8 to 12% of commission in it. And the second is advertisement. So if someone wants to advertise their sports or brands or business something, then they can advertise in our app. That will cost them 249 rupees. Third is subscription. If someone wants to purchase something from that advertisement, then they can get discount on it with the rupees with the subscription of 99 rupees.
Well, let's talk about a roadmap and vision. So we will be starting off with the web app as an MVP, and after gaining some initial traction, we will move on to app development and will be doing more marketing and onboarding users. That is our year one target. And for year two, we will be targeting to onboard minimum 10,000 active user and partnering with 500 plus turf. And for year three, we will be expanding to multiple cities and minimum we need to onboard 1 lakh plus active users. That is our 3-year roadmap.
And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that was quite on time. You still have half a minute. Okay, great. All right. So let's open up the floor for questions and feedback and questions. Anyone who like to ask, you can raise your digital hand, okay, and can and unmute yourself. And we do have people in the audience I know that are actually sports professional. So, all right. So any questions, feedback for Team Up? Remember, you can ask or you can feedback. All right, Jane, go ahead. Go ahead. Thanks.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. I'm actually curious and also applaud you for choose the tier 2 city. People usually flock into like the biggest city, the biggest area. So I have one question on that, actually two questions. One question is what's the reason behind you choose the tier 2 city? And the other question is, I like you can auto matching people with their how many games, experience, etc. But usually a team sport, you like to play with people you know, so you kind of know each other's style, strengths. I just want to understand culturally, maybe in India, people like to play the pickup game, so-called. You don't know the people you play with. Is that something appealing to people? If that's the case, then this auto match would work. Otherwise, you might need to do a team matching instead of individual. So I'm curious on this too. Tier 2 city and the auto matching, the culture aspect.
Well, our main reason for targeting tier 2 cities that in tier 1 there are already established companies who are doing that work. I already told in my that pitch that Pleo is already focusing on tier 1 cities. So in tier 2 cities, the turf market is still growing. So we can be like early mover in that area. So after basically dominating in tier 2 cities, it will be easier for us to grow our grow our publicity in tier 1 cities. So that is our reason for first targeting tier 2 cities. Can you repeat once again the second question?
Sure. The second question is you auto match people, stranger who play with each other, right? The team sport usually you want people want to know each other's like kind of style other than level and how you do the pass, right? If you play sports, you probably know, right? Kind of it's the synergy or the chemistry, like unspoken movement that really matter. So I'm curious just how people do that if just random match with people. Those terms in US called the pickup game, right? You don't know your component, you don't register by team, but you just show a pickup game and then you play with anybody. I did that before, but for those sports, I'm also very new, so I could care less who I play with. But I think if people are the sports enthusiasts and play regularly, I wonder if they would prefer to play with people they know, right? Also match their level. So I'm just curious when you're talking about auto matching, do you think that culturally work for your context, or you think you're actually targeting more people like play sports as a newcomer or like a casual player versus more serious, more competitive? Yeah, I'm curious on that. Yeah.
Well, honestly, before starting that prototyping our idea, we also faced this question a lot. But one thing I realized that even if you want to travel somewhere, there are so many communities where you can connect with different people and go for a trip. So I think sports is only for 1 hour, 1 to 2 hour. While if you are going for a trip, it's almost for 3 to 4 days. If you can basically adapt with new people while for 3 to 4 days on a trip, it will be much easier to play with different players for only 1 to 2 hours.
So basically, you're saying that, Mohammed, I mean, what would be like the main answer to this in terms of playing with strangers?
I think it would be amazing. It would open your network to so many different people. You can see as an opportunity like you are working as a software developer, maybe you can meet with some another people who are working at topmost post or some in good different companies. So from there you can get a referral also. So this can also be one of the opportunity.
I see. So I understand this as kind of the hostel experiences, right? When you go to a hostel, you go to meet like new friends, new people that you don't know, and make friends. Is that like the idea?
And definitely, it's not about connecting solo. You can even go out with 2 to 3 people you know.
All right. Jane, so is that okay? I mean, did
Yeah,
that
I think that's actually a very good positioning, right? So Mohammed, if you're going to pitch this again or present your product to your audience, right? This is a good positioning strategy versus otherwise, right? You already anticipate people will ask you this question, why I want to play with stranger? This is a good reason for you. You meet new people, you might be surprised to find out how good people are or even not, right? For the social aspect. Yeah. I think this is a very good
Okay.
selling point. Also help you targeting different kind of people, right?
Okay, nice. All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you for the presentation and answering the question.
All right. Thanks, Jane.
Thank you.
And so Netra, you have the question?
Hi, you guys did a very good job. I just have a very, very basic question, and that's how have you analyzed the cost? I would like to see the breakup, the cost breakup.
Well,
So
can
Mohammed,
you explain a little more like what cost breakup?
Well, how
That
have you calculated all the costs that you are going to incur for this? If you have done an MVP, then it's also good for that MVP. If you can tell us how you analyze the cost, how you evaluated how much you have to pay initially.
so Netra, you're talking about the costs for the platform. Is it right?
Yes,
Okay.
like the all over cost that they will have to give for this whole project that they are doing, or maybe the initial cost for the even if they are doing an MVP, what is the initial cost that they'll have to give? And I would like to see how they have breaked it up. Like where will the money go? How much money will go where?
That's a good question. Mohammed, yeah, go ahead. But
well,
basically asking
for
like how,
making an MVP, we need to make a web app. So basically, I know how to make a website. So for that, we don't need that much amount. We can basically bootstrap that. It will cost around 5 to 6 thousand in Indian rupees. So it's much cheaper. So for now, we haven't thought about how we need to basically arrange or how much money we are required to proceed. First, we will start with MVP and then we will see after moving forward.
all right, thanks. All right. So basically I think Mohammed mentioned something important that if you're a developer yourself, you can save a lot of costs. Okay, or if you have some technical capability, right, to actually build the MVP yourself. That's actually one of the things we are teaching, which is you always want to have a technical co-founder in your team. Okay, so you can actually execute the vision. Yeah, I know, Jamal, do you have any feedback? We do have a professional in the sports sector. All right. So yeah, all right.
Yeah, I just think that hi guys, great job by the way. Um, so when I'm watching it, and I might have missed it because it slipped because my daughter just jumped on my back, but the sports that you're targeting, what are the exact sports you're targeting right now?
We are initially targeting turf sports,
Yeah, you did say turf. Okay, so turf sports would be what? Cricket,
cricket,
soccer,
football. Yeah.
yeah, football. Okay, what other sports?
And then we are planning to move towards courts game like badminton, even basketball.
Okay. Okay, yeah, just because so most of the population in India plays the turf sports, correct?
Yes.
Okay. No, that was really it for me in terms of just like what you guys were trying to do in terms of booking because they have do, for example, in Canada, I know they have an app kind of like that, but it's mainly built for booking facilities like like you showed that your competition, but in terms of like meet up and like get interactive with people you don't know, that is something actually kind of unique that's not here. And I hope you guys have a lot of success with it in India.
Thanks.
All right. So, I mean, talk about the concept of who, not how. You guys might want to connect with Jamal at some point later. He's actually a professional basketball player, okay, in Canada, and now also a coach. All right. So he's in the group. He's in the group. All right. Any other questions or feedback for Team Up? All right. So I do have some questions here. The first is how far are you right now in terms of the MVP and also testing out this idea? Because you know, we learn from Y Combinator, YC. You want to spend 80-90% of your time talking to the users and building the product, right? So obviously, I believe you probably have some product and talk to the user, but just like how far are you? Can you maybe like, are there any validations right now that people actually are like this, want this, or using this?
Well, we have started building a product, but after talking to so many users, like around 20 to 30 users, which I know and which regularly play turf sports. So basically, I get to know that there is a tight-knit WhatsApp community already. So many of them are of the views that basically after making an app, you are adding extra steps for booking. Like with one message, you can easily book a turf. We have a community. So after one message, we can connect with different players. So this is one of the initial problem we are facing, and we are thinking how to tackle that for now.
So from that light, people are really using WhatsApp, right, as the way to find potential players to play with. I mean, how are you different? Or I mean, so WhatsApp is kind of a quote unquote competitor, right? So I guess what would be something that's unique that you're actually bringing to the table from your perspective?
Main problem is that on WhatsApp, the people, those who are there are local player. Basically, they play that sports daily. But for occasional players or those who are coming from outside for education or for job, they are not into that WhatsApp community. So for them, we can easily onboard them on our app, and then slowly we will focus towards regular player by adding a tournament feature so that different teams can compete. So this is our plan.
Yeah, I see. Okay, all right. I love the idea. I mean, this is obviously what I can see. I guess there's some feedback, all right? I can see that this is a location-based service, right? Because you probably want to find people around you to play with. And also, I think this is also, you know, a community. Obviously, this is a community service, and you want to have the more people, the better the network effect, right? But figuring out what's the first audience, like you already talked about, people who are at a different city or different location, maybe for travel, maybe for work, right? Maybe just a short trip, but they want to just meet up with people to play, right? That kind of thing. Maybe that's the initial audience that you want to attract because they have the strongest demand, right? And the other thing, I think it's, again, this is leveraging the idea of who, not how, okay? Because obviously your strength, I think it's in the developing, you know, you can rapidly prototyping things. But in terms of onboarding users, right, onboarding people, you might want to see if there is a partner that can actually help you to onboard lots and lots of users. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so I would encourage you to think who, not how. All right. Okay. From that respect, maybe it's someone already you know from your network. All right. So yeah, thanks, Mohammed, and you know Team Up. Okay, the teams of Team Up for this presentation. Now our next presentation is actually going to be about you know making organic more common. And this is one of our in-house efforts, Pure Harvest, but spun out to become, one of the, I think it's a quite independent team that are specifically working for something that might, help address the food issue in India. So Netra, are you ready? Are you guys ready?
Yeah, we are
Yes.
ready.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. So please share your screen and let me know when you are ready to go so I can do the 5-minute timing. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we are ready.
All right. Okay. All right. All right. So I think we can see it. All right. So yeah, go now. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's start.
Yeah. So imagine growing beautiful fresh tomatoes, watering them every morning, picking them by hand, only to sell them for 6 rupees per kg. Then travel for 100 kilometers away to a city store and same tomatoes are priced at 30 rupees per kg. That's the story of Mohan, a real farmer from Telangana. He does all the work, takes all the risk, but gets just the fifth of the value. Multiply that by millions of farmers, and you start to see the scale of injustice. This is the gap Pure Harvest India is here to close. India's agriculture system is brilliant at production, but broken in distribution. Farmers sell to local agents known as dalals, who often take advantage of price fluctuations and lack of transparency. From there, produce changes hands 4 to 6 times before reaching the consumer. This results in farmers getting underpaid, consumers overpaying, and 30% of produce going to waste. It's just inefficient and also it's unsustainable. So our model is simple and direct. Farmers drop off produce at nearby collection point like local schools, community spaces, temples, etc. Then we grade, clean, and pack everything using part-time local workers, and then deliver it to pickup points closer to urban customers like apartment societies, offices, or partner stores. We cut down the unnecessary middle layers and put value where it belongs, with the people who grow and consume the food. So what makes Pure Harvest stand out? We are community rooted. We are fast, fair, and local. Our prices are 15 to 20% cheaper than retail, with 2 to 3 times more value going back to farmers. Everyone wins. The farmer earns more, the consumer gets fresher food.
So let's talk about some economic impact and some financials, shall we? So we can see that the pie graph we have now, we are mainly giving our most to the farmers. So that's so we are mainly providing for our farmers, and our final price is about rupees 22 per kg approx, which is compared to the market price of 40 rupees kg typical market price. That's 45% decrease. So and then we have the market opportunity. So for our total addressable market, available market is 1.92 billion dollars, and the serviceable available market is 384 million dollars, and the serviceable obtainable market is actually 2.8 million dollars. So that's quite a huge market that we are dealing with right now with the Indian market. And let's look at the financial projections of our company. So right now we are mainly focusing on sustainability, and our financial model prioritizes that and also efficiency. So we can see the monthly burn rate is actually 1 to 3 lakhs before we scale it up, before we scale up our operations, and after scaling it up, it comes to around 6 to 7 lakhs on the operational stage. And the revenue target is for year one is 20 to 30 lakhs, which we are going to achieve, and and with that, our break even is happening before the second quarter of the first year of our operations with 1,200 active weekly households. Not only that, but our customer acquisition cost is quite low. It's 150 to 250 rupees, and the gross margin target is 18 to 25% sustainable. That's with the that's all with the financials of the company. Thank you.
We already hit the ground by contacting 60 plus farmers and contacting with 5 drop-off points for our delivery. And we also are not just solving inefficiencies, we are rebuilding trust in how food moves in India. From the ground up, we are designing a model where everybody wins, especially those who've been undervalued for so long. We invite you to be part of this shift, not just as investors, but as co creators of a more fair and efficient food system. We are a purpose driven, young team united by belief that real changes starts with listening. We spent the last few months learning directly from farmers, families, and logistic workers, not building in a silo. Between us, we bring grassroots understanding, startup hustle, and creative energy, and we are committed to staying real, scrappy, and farmer first as we grow. Pure Harvest India isn't just our idea, it's a shared vision with the people we serve. Yeah, that's all
All
about
right.
it.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Guna. All right. Excellent. All right. A bit over time. Okay. But okay. In a more stricter environment, but it's a wonderful presentation. Okay. All right. Thanks. So anyone from the audience would like to, okay, so there's actually a prototype. Okay. You guys can click, and that's the link to the demo site. Okay. I think I've shared the demo site in the chat room. All right. Any questions from the audience? Feedback, questions? Jane, would you like to feedback first? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So thank you for sharing. Very exciting. Let me share something I think you have done very well. You have a story to start. You use the image to tell your story. I love your tagline. The farmers are brilliant in production, broken in distribution. I think, and you also describe the problem clearly, right? We all can understand the cost, the shipping, the discrepancy from consumer and what farmers earned. So that and also I like your already engage contact the 60 farmer, 5 drop-off points, right? Want to create a win-win. So I think you really thought this through very thoughtfully as you want, and you did. The question to that is on the distribution. I'm curious, if you're talking about this rural area, does the farmer handle those logistics, or you will handle that? Otherwise, how is it easy for the consumer to pick up? That will impact your skill, right? So the one part of the question is logistic. And the other part is, let's say if you are successful, which I would love to see that. If you are successful, how do you defend yourself for the competition? Yeah, especially if logistic company or bigger company come to the area, want to take your share. How would you? Yeah, what's your competitive strengths? Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Jane. Thanks
Hi,
a
Netra.
lot for the question. If I can just, I have a request that if we can share the screen and show you what our product looks like, the website, it might be a little easier for you to know what we are doing.
Go ahead, Netra. Go ahead and share screen.
Okay.
Please.
Sumuk, can you do that, please?
Hello,
Oh,
hello,
yeah.
am I visible?
Yes, it's visible now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So I'll do a small transaction on this website. So getting started, I have already logged in, signed up. You can here sign up also, but I have already signed up. So I'll sign up. Now here I am made myself as an admin and as a role of a farmer too. So I can create listing. So here I have created a listing, and also I create a new listing. And here's the quantity handle. So I have created a listing and now I will sign up as a buyer. Now I can see the listing and I can trade a request and also chat from here also. So if I want to buy it for 95, then I'll send the trade request, log out, and I'll log in from my side also. All trades. So I can here accept a trade. So I have accepted the trade and completed. And here I can view the receipt of the trade also. Thank you.
All right, so I think thanks for the demo. Yeah, go ahead, Jane.
So what exactly we are doing here is this. We are basically very much working on the Azure model, where we are going to ask farmers to list their product on our platform. And this is like a weekly basis, pre-ordered. Like the customers are going to pre-order for a whole week, and then the delivery will only be once from the farmer's side. So what we are trying to do is we are going for bulk. So when you were talking about the differentiator that we have, so in India there are no bulk deliveries for now. And when you go for bulk, the price is really cheap. So it's not like daily deliveries, but weekly deliveries. You have to pre-order and it's going to be bulk, which makes it really cheap. And the prices that we are offering are nearly 20% less than what our competitors are going to actually they are right now offering. So that is making a lot of difference for us. Also for the farmers, when we are talking to them and when we told them that you're going to get this much higher percent, that's like 30% or 40%, they were very pleased. And they were like, yeah, we would like to connect with you. So one of the story that even I have that I witnessed myself was a farmer giving me a watermelon for free because he was just selling it for 1 or 2 rupees at that time. And then I said him, why are you giving it to me for free? He said he's not getting the price from the market. And in the market, I was going to buy it for 30 to 40 rupees, which is like a very big difference. And this is the problem that we are trying to solve in Pure Harvest right now. And our model is basically built on this. We are right now targeting the fresh products. And because the farmers that we have connected through to have the fresh products, and that's how we are going to work. So also one more value proposition for us is the community thing. So the pickup points will be community based in temples or in schools or in RWAs. So it gives you an opportunity to come out of your home and talk to people in temples, which is in India, it's a good thing because now people are going into isolation and we want them to come out and talk to each other in a community environment. So that's also one of the value that we are proposing here, and it makes us stand out from our competitors. Jane, I hope this answer your question.
Yeah, thank you, Netra, and also your teammate to demo. Yeah, appreciate it. Yes, you did answer that. I like the community aspect. I also like the social aspect. Yeah.
I think one of Jane's question was about distribution. I mean, is it from farmers to deliver, or is it something that Pure Harvest will support with the delivery? I didn't quite catch that.
I think she answered, right? So it sounds like, if I understand correctly, will be farmers will ship to the drop-off points, and those drop. So I guess the target is like the local community buy within their willing to travel distance to pick up themselves, right, Netra? If I understand you correctly. I think it's the competition. Once it's if people see you guys doing well, inevitably people will start to copy, but maybe it's a good thing, right? Because there's lots of farmers, lots of consumers. So the more, the better, the bigger the market. I'll text you separately. There is a CSA model in US, which it's literally, it's like a community agriculture system. It's literally like a people subscription model, go to pick up in the farms. There's hundreds, thousands of farms across. So might be something which you can take a look of that. I was a member myself, so, but it's usually more the rural area, not the city side. So they also do the home delivery for some farms, but yeah, that's something could be a consideration for you. Thank you.
All right, thanks. And thanks, Jane. All right. Any other questions from the audience? Jamal, do you have any questions, comments? All right. Yeah, go ahead. Jamal, you're muted. You're muted. So
Yeah, sorry about that. So with Pure Harvest, are you guys also looking for how do I ask this question? So you guys are trying to connect rural. Baby, hold on. Sorry, guys. You guys are trying to connect farmers, right, and make sure that they get the biggest profit margin, which I think is beautiful because the middleman shouldn't be getting as much. Now, also too, is this in India? Because I don't know. What is it like for? I know here in the West, it's big on like organic versus non-organic. Now, how does Pure Harvest position himself in that realm as well in India to be like first to market with that concept as well as like we provide all organic straight from the farm versus conventional straight from the farm?
Yeah. So basically, we've basically gone and spoken to the farmers, and India is not that big on organic and the organic processes right now, but I think it is moving that way because I've personally gone, and me and Aishwarya here, we've gone and spoken with one of the organizations working towards organic farming, and they're trying out a bunch of processes, and they're also they're not really competitors to us. They're basically like moving towards organic, teaching farmers how to farm organically. But as of right now, I think the farmers not having the motivation to farm organically is the real issue here, and I think that can be changed due to higher profits, and when we show them that there's potential, and when we show them there there's like they're capable of getting more than what they're used to, I think they would be willing to shift towards organic, because right now their biggest concern is the quantity of the crops. There's not much, it's not there, like the quantity is lesser and the prices are higher, so the demand is also kind of lower. But even the demand is kind of slowly growing because of higher awareness and better living standards here in India, mainly in the metropolitan cities.
So from what I heard, it's basically about connecting the farmers with buyers first, right? Give them livelihood.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
maybe you can start from there to provide additional, movement to organic supplies.
Yes.
Right?
There's
That-
yeah. So
Okay.
there's like bunch of methods that we've observed. Those people, like the people we met, they're called urban farms. They were implementing a bunch of methods. I think it was really good, and they were gathering farmers who had like higher, like a larger amount of land, rather, because they would be willing to spare a bit more of their land towards organic farming. So they were testing out different methods, and the results were also beautiful. So I think, yeah, if the farmer can get more money, I think that would be the first step towards organic farming in India.
All right. Thanks. All right. Thanks. All right. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you. So I'm clear. It's profit first for farmers, then introduce it, because then they'll be excited about venturing into something else with the newfound money, essentially.
Right, exactly.
All
Thank
right. All right.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Jamal, for the question.
All right. Thanks. And thanks for the Pure Harvest team. I do have some questions, but yeah, it's our time. So just a couple of things, if you can answer quickly, which is what's the biggest challenge right now you're facing to onboard, your clients or farmers, and what's the biggest breakthrough so far? Can someone from the team to help answer this? Just curious. What's the biggest current challenge and what has the biggest breakthrough?
Hello, sir.
Look, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I can answer what is the biggest breakthrough for my technical side. So here I have I have done all the encryption of the data. So there is no data breach loss in this website, and all the data is encrypted in my database server. Even I can also not see the passwords of the users. Also, I have make sure that this website is not prone to SQL injections and cross-site scripting attacks from the web. So it's also safe. It's a security purpose, cyber security purposes.
Okay. All right. Thanks. All right. But what about the market side? I'm more curious about on the market side, on the business model part. What's the current challenge now, and what's the biggest breakthrough so far? Is that something Guna or Netra? Maybe you can answer.
Yeah, I would love if Guna answers. Guna or anyone else from the team answers this.
Yeah, could you expand on breakthrough? Like a challenge right now is
No, challenge is something you're right now facing. What's the biggest, as you're trying to onboard, right? I know you guys are trying to onboard the farmers and
Yeah.
also the buyers. What's the biggest challenge? And
I think
go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, just there is unlimited. There's like lots of potential for this, but the getting the word out and reaching the suppliers, reaching the the buyers, because the suppliers are scattered. They're like farmers who are contacting. We're not contacting any organizations, and there are FPOs, farmer produce organizations, but I think they would rather trade like on their terms. So I mean, at least that's what came up in the discussions. So what we're looking at here is we would be targeting willing FPOs and also willing farmers, and that would take a little, that would be a little challenging. That would be on the higher end of like effort initially, but once we get going, I think it would be smoother. Even the buyers, basically, I think it would mostly be just word of mouth, because we're targeting communities and we're targeting, we're tapping into a larger it's like a more of a communal experience rather than, it's just we're not going to a single buyer. So I think that once we get into the flow of it, I think we can, that would, then we can start to look at the operations going smoothly. Right now, the biggest challenge is just, getting it started.
Okay. All right. Great. All right. So I guess,
Can I add on the answer which Shaurya told?
yeah, go now. You like to add something? Go ahead.
Yeah, I also think establishing trust with the farmers is also a very hard thing to begin with, because we are just starting out and it's really hard for the farmers to trust us.
All right. Thanks for the answer. Yeah. All right. I guess my quick feedback on that is that the reason why I ask is, your biggest obstacle is oftentimes also your greatest breakthrough and opportunity. All right. If it's hard right now, it means that there is value to be gained once you overcome that. Okay. So this is actually something to think about. The biggest obstacle now could actually become the biggest value creation aspect once you find a solution for it. So, all right. Okay. All right. So thanks for the Pure Harvest India team. All right. All right. So with the last part, what I'd like to do is to just open the floor. If there's any, general questions, comments, for each other, or maybe for a sender, if you have any questions, then you can also feel free to ask. Okay. So I guess this is right now like open Q&A or feedback. if you have any feedback for, different teams or any questions, can raise your hand. All right. So, okay.
Hello.
Sumuk, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. From past 1.5 months, we are making the platform and the idea we are doing. So now we have a little bit made. Now, what's your next step on our idea?
So your question is, what's the next step? Is that
What's your next step on our idea from your
Oh,
side?
okay. So basically, I would say the reason why I ask those questions, there's also one thing I think really important, which is to make the business model work. All right. If anything, this is like maybe the number one thing I've learned so far is that because I also like to share that we do have a very important mentor, okay, for me personally, and also I think for Ascender as well, is Sarah Manna, okay, Mitri. She's founder of 1 Million by 1 Million, okay, and also very experienced in Silicon Valley. And like the number one thing, okay, I mean, we learned from YC is talk to user, improve your product, right? And like the number one thing she preaches is a startup is clients, revenues, and profits. Okay. And basically financing is optional, and exit is optional. Okay. So I think that's kind of the better mentality or mindset, which is we do want to build up a business, and business at the end of this is really just clients, revenues, profits, right? Obviously, we are doing this with a social impact intention. So I would still say the biggest, the next step is actually to onboard the actual customers. Okay, and make sure that there are transactions, make sure that there is a business. Does that make sense, Sumuk?
Yes, sir. Means
Okay.
you are waiting for the first profit to make, and then you will invest in our company.
Actually, the first transaction, okay, not necessarily profit, okay, because I mean, profit is obviously a good goal, but I think having transaction is important, because once there are actual, it means it's validation, right? It means it's validation. And this is another thing I would say, as well, I would say I myself have made this mistake, okay, in the past, which is I thought that the bottleneck was capital. In fact, if you look at a lot of the founders, they might well be looking for a capital investment first before actually doing things. But I guess after getting known with a lot of entrepreneurs now, I've come to the conclusion that you can actually start to have revenue and profit, not without invested capital. And this is called bootstrapping, right? You're trying to basically create a business out of your own current resource, right? If you're a developer, like for example, like Muhammad, right? He can build system and he can code. So that actually saved him, money from hiring a developer. And if you don't have that kind of skill, then the idea is to partner, right? Find someone who can actually build stuff. If you're the builder, right, you probably want to find someone with the business development side, right? If you have ideas, but maybe you want to onboard clients, maybe you want to find someone who can close deals. Does that make sense, Sumuk?
Yes, sir, got it.
Okay. So I guess what I'm trying to say is startup entrepreneurship is actually about being resourceful rather than having a lot of resources. Okay. And if you can become resourceful, that will serve you very well into the future. And that's actually what investors would love to invest, Okay. All right, Netra, you have a question. Go ahead.
Actually, I want to add on that. The way I see it right now is this, that we go for the first transaction, make the minimal profit out of it, and then use that profit to invest in our own business. This is how we are going to be moving forward. the using that our own profits in our own business, doing the small steps. That's what I was thinking. I'm not sure if it's right or wrong, but
Oh, this is the best approach. Actually, there are different ways to grow your business. This is called growing by profits. Okay, so there is basically start by bootstrapping. That's one concept. Okay, or start by paycheck, meaning that you have a daytime job that pays for your your rent, your food, but then you use your part time to actually build up your business. That's actually a very successful model used by many successful entrepreneurs, even to unicorn scale. Okay, there are a lot of those stories in Sarah Mana's interview. I asked her actually last week, like how many people she has interviewed. It was over 2,000 entrepreneurs. So I'm pretty sure she knows, what she's talking about. And Netra, your idea is actually the best model, because what happens is if you can grow your business with your own profit and revenue, then you are in control. And and this is the kind of business, once you started to have a certain, traction, investors will actually chase you after. So there's another concept called go to investors like a king, not a beggar. All right. You don't want to beg for money. You want investors to come to you and want to fund your company. And because if it's a money-making, profitable venture, investors, they are after the money. They will want to have a share. Does it make sense?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. All right. So I think we're at about time, and what I would like to everyone to do is provide some quick feedback and summary of what today's learning. All right, because again, I think this is a learning experience for everyone involved, and sometimes what most people don't realize is that the best value is actually in the knowledge and in the network that we're building. Okay, because you guys are all here, and for the presenters, congrats, because what we'll also do afterwards is to invite all of you into what's called the post-demo networking group. Okay, you will all be like a member of that. And that's actually a network of people that includes, investors and also mentors and, other like-minded entrepreneurs. So this is, I think, something we want to continue to grow. All right, so let me just put that in the chat. Okay, let me see if see if you guys can see the, all right, so, all right, sorry, this is the, I'm trying to figure out the new Zoom interface. Okay, all right, so there's a chat. What I'd like to give everyone is just 1 minute, okay, to write down what's your today's biggest takeaway, and also any next action you like to do, okay, which can include maybe networking with someone, connecting with someone, right, or maybe to just talk to someone, improve something. All right, so I'll give everybody 1 minute to feel your biggest takeaway and also your next action. All right, let's start.
Sir, I've already filled this form, so should I just clear it out and fill it again? Like in a previous session, I've already filled out this form.
Oh, okay. I mean, this is for this session.
Okay, so
So,
should I just clear out everything and submit it again?
oh, okay. All right. So just 1 minute.
Okay.
All right, just 10 more seconds. All right, okay. All right, so basically, yeah, anyone would like to share just quickly, or you might want a few shares of what's your today's biggest takeaway, and is there any action you'd like to take afterwards?
Yeah, for me,
Netra, okay, you can raise your hand. Okay,
let him go ahead.
okay, all right. Guna, you want to go first?
Yeah, so my today's biggest lesson is to take action first and then think about finances later. And second, what I want to do next is to make the business transaction happen in Pure Harvest by contacting all the consumers and also partnering up with a logistic business.
Great, great, great. All right, great. All right. So yeah, Netra, you want to share your takeaway and action?
Yeah, for me, I would say that where our focus is really matters. So, as I told you that a few days ago, we were really focusing on what name are we going to give and what poster are we making, which was really not important at that point of time. And I would like everyone to know that we really have wasted time on things that we don't want to waste time on that, but we waste time on that, and that's why focus is very important. Just focus on consumers, revenues, and profits, as it has been said again and again by Shun Yun Ho. So this was my biggest takeaway from here. And yeah, moving forward, I think we are going to be a bit more disciplined now and bit more organized as a whole team. And that's what we are going to do from now. We are 7 people, and we are going to first give the duties and the roles to each person, so that from now we are a bit actually much better organized as we go forward. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. We'll love to see that. Okay. Okay. All right, Average, go ahead. Average.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway or learning from the session would be that, as you just said quite nicely, that challenges can also be opportunities. So I think that's the biggest takeaway for me, because first of all, we faced a lot of challenges while creating Pure Harvest, and uh, and therefore we weren't sure how we are going to tackle them. So that I think your from that learning we can, we can embrace those challenges and get ahead from what we are at right now. And that's going to make our make our company or startup more fluid or more efficient in terms of the operational standards. And just as Netra said, like how it's going to help us to focus on different tasks, I think, yeah, if we embrace challenges or don't look at them negatively, I think we can focus a lot of uh, we can focus a lot from what we used to do. Yeah, so that's what my takeaway is.
Okay, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. What you described is what's called a growth mindset. Okay, there's what's called growth mindset, meaning that you believe we can always improve. There's always room for improvement, but this is not leaving the gap. This is actually about we can always change for the better, right? And we're already good, but we can improve, right? All right, so thanks. Anyone else would like to share? What's your biggest takeaway and any action forward?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think talking like this and pitching and like demo pitches, I think they really let us introspect and realize what we're lacking, what our strengths are, and and we can really work on those. And also, I think the biggest thing that resonated with me was your method of approaching investors like a king and not a beggar. I think that's something that's gonna stay with me. That's gonna stick with me.
Wow. Any
And
action? Any action for
yeah,
you personally?
yeah.
What's your action?
Yeah, so I think I am gonna, keep introspecting and you know, basically like giving demo pitches on my own personality. And there's this reminded me of there's a director called Quentin Tarantino, who's a Hollywood director, and he said that every week, like every weekend, he would sit down with a notebook all night and have a Quentin test fest. So basically, he would just introspect and write down everything where he's going wrong, and and just work on it and stuff like that. So I think I could apply whatever we did today for Pure Harvest in my personal life.
Excellent, excellent. You talk about something important, which is self-improvement. Okay, which is never ending, but that's the key to success. All right.
Yes.
All right, thanks. Anyone else
Thank
like to share your takeaway in action? All right, so Jamal, actually, you're still here, so maybe you can share. Is there any takeaway for you, Jamal?
Yep, I'm here. Sorry. So
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, sorry. So the takeaway for me is just that like when you have an idea, believe in it, you just gotta go. Like that's my biggest takeaway. And the fact that you guys like, working hard, putting yourselves out there to essentially get criticized and help grow, that's amazing. So I just think it's just like kind of to the growth mindset is just go and grow. Just you can't do anything except move. So I like it, and thank you for the experience.
All right, any action on your part that you like to make after this?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with stuff that I'm working on as well. Just move and and stay positive and be open to feedback and just grow. Like that's in terms of my action.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, all right. All right, so I think with that, all right, I'd like to conclude our fifth demo day, okay? And I guess just as an announcement, okay, this is also something about the sender I'd like to share with all of you. There are two important things that's going to happen moving forward. The first is that, okay, because you guys probably know that I'm also a member of Strategic Coach, okay, which is actually the top entrepreneur coaching program in the world by Dan Sullivan. He's coached over 20,000, I mean, the organization has coached 20,000 entrepreneurs. He himself over 6,000 personally, all right? He's a coach for close to 50 years. Probably he coached more entrepreneurs than any living human being, okay? So I'm, very honored to join this. And part of my personal journey last week was I was actually attending actually 4 strategic coach workshops within a week. Okay. One thing that came up from that is the clarity of what to bring Ascender forward. One is we want to build up what's called an AI and virtual assistant layer, AI VA layer. And this is going to be helping teams, founders to execute forward, leveraging AI and also virtual assistant. Okay, this is something I believe that's going to be huge for not just our own startups, but also for many other startup founders in the future. So this is one thing. The other thing is what's called tokenized fundraising. Okay, so Karthik is here, and he was actually from the Q1 cohort, and he recruited many of you, probably all of you, for Q2. Okay, so thanks to him that you guys are here. And he's now in, not just recruiting for Q3, but also heading up our first IEO effort, which is we want to do fundraising, by token release on one of the largest exchange, Binance. Now, this could be a long shot, meaning that it will not be easy. Okay, but I also believe this is the right path moving forward to do ICO, IEO, to do fundraising. Okay, and I think there's just a lot of advantage and things. So if any one of you are also interested, to learn more or to participate in either of these, feel free to reach out. Okay, this is, I guess, the first announcement. And the second thing is, for Q3, obviously, you guys have already completed the whole run, okay? But one thing is I would still invite you guys to join, okay, to continue. And, into some of the Q3 coaching sessions, which we will still conduct on a weekly basis. But the other thing is to also invite friends, family, whatnot, from your social network, social circle to also join the program in Q3. And I like to share a bit the reasoning behind this, which is actually to build our goal is unicorn company. And I'm very serious about this, okay? if anyone, this is already the 5th iteration. Part of the process, I believe, is actually, you do want to have continuous community support and coaching and mentorship and peer support and whatnot, collaboration, Suna How. So it's not just this 3 months, it's actually a continuous journey. Okay, if you really are serious about building a successful startup, and you don't have to worry if you are still a student, if you have your full-time job, if you are a parent like Jamal, he has 2 young kids to raise, okay, but he's still here, right? You all heard his daughter was in the background, all right? We all have different challenges in our life. But the good thing, the good news I like to share is with today's technology, especially AI and also virtual assistant, virtual teamwork, remote collaboration, like what we're doing, it's possible, entirely possible, to create a unicorn scale venture with just 20% or even less of your time. All right, this is the message I would also like to spread. Because remember, bootstrap by paycheck or bootstrapping your own startup, most people don't realize this is entirely doable. And there are many successful examples before us. Okay, so I would encourage you to not just invite your friend to the community, but also continue to participate. Okay, you can join. We already have a Q3 group that's out there. So, I like to invite all of you to continue to join and attend the weekly, coaching session. All right. So, with time, it's going to have a compounding effect of your business, of your mindset, and of yourself personally. All right. All right. So with that, thanks everyone. All right. And next week will be the first Q3 session, and I hope to see you there. All right. All right. Take care. Yeah. Bye-bye.